Hi friends! Welcome to a new series called End the Stigma, where I'll be creating pictures basically to advocate for change in certain areas that I believe our society needs to take a look at and reevaluate. So this is End the Stigma.Period. So I heard a podcast on I heard a story on NPR about these young, brave girls, these 14-year-old girls of color from Bronx who wanted to start a podcast about periods and share it at their school, advertise it or broadcast it at their school to create awareness and information for both sexes and also to end the stigma, because there is such a stigma around periods, and I believe it's what I call residuals of living in a society, a patriarchal society, where it's basically to make a woman feel less than, to take her power away so then she doesn't feel empowered to go out and attack life the way men are encouraged to do. So we need to just have more education, and we need to end the stigma, and that's something we can do on a small level, on a grassroots level, and that creates change on a larger level. But it all starts with us and us using our voices and the gifts and talents we have to tell the world what's important to us and what change we would like to see that would better the world for everyone. So I created this sketch and I just loved how she turned out. I'm from Southern California and I just returned from a trip there, and it was so wonderful. And so I have the beach on my mind and the palm trees I really missed. So that was definitely an influence in this painting. And I was on my period and I needed to go get some tampons, and I don't get bags because I don't want to put that into the atmosphere, even though I could recycle, but I don't need a bag, especially for, a small item. And so I had a box of tampons, but I had walked 20 minutes to the drugstore because we were staying in a hotel in West Hollywood and everything is far. It's not walkable like New York, but that is California for you. And so I realized I was making a political statement by just living my life, because I decided I wasn't going to be bothered by people knowing I was on my period. And then because I'm an environmentalist and I don't want to take bags when they're unnecessary, I ended up walking down Sunset Boulevard with a box of tampons in my hands, and people saw me, and it's just like, yeah, not a big deal. We all have periods. Periods are awesome. Well, they're not awesome, but you know what I mean. They're natural and they're important. So I put those lovely splotch patterns that were kind of like flowers, but kind of reminiscent, of a period. I didn't want to be garish with it, but I wanted to, celebrate the period. So she's in her white bathing suit, and oh no, she has a period stain, but it's a heart. It's oh shucks, I have a stain, but I'm not ashamed, it's life. So that was the whole vibe of this painting, just being aware of life, c'est la vie. And so I think I was also influenced by some paintings that I've seen before that I loved, that were 1950s beach scenes. And so that yellow and red coloring really reminds me of that. And I'm so pleased that my subconscious brought that forward, because I really love these muted tones. It's very dreamy, and it's just like California dreaming to me. So I didn't like a spot of color where the heart was, because I had white around her, and so that's why I decided to add red to kind of mask it. And so then it was cool, because then I was like, I could make these clouds. And so then that was really awesome, because I hadn't really thought to make clouds like that before, in those two colors, just to lay it on there, but it all complements really well. Starting with the red col-erase pencil, was great because that marries everything together, because it brings all the red in the picture together. And then also I choose my colored pencil based on the tone I want to go with. So I already knew I wanted a red because I wanted to do something like a sunset or sunrise. But this could really be any time of day, and I love that. So I'm adding yellow to her hair and her shoulder because that's where the sunlight would be hitting her, so she'd be all warmed and golden. And also there's gold on the palms, the top of the palm fronds, for the same reason the sun would be hitting there. And that's why I have shadow on her back and under her hair and the back of her knees and her feet, because there would be shadow there. Just bringing some more red into the palm trees because I wanted to darken them, but I didn't want to make them brown, so I was like, oh, why not red? Like red pink, that would go well. It's whimsical and it goes with the painting. And then it's off camera, pardon, but I have 3 seagulls, so I made them red as well. I hope you enjoyed this one, friends. I'm excited to do this series and to bring all of the important topics to me, to life, to share with you, and we can have some good conversations. All right, friends, have a blessed day. Bye-bye.